Hello, everyone. I'm here with my friend Sonia, and I actually have a nickname for her. Can I tell everyone what your nickname is?
Sure.
I call her Sostridge, and people are like, why do you keep calling this fabulous lady Sostridge? And it's because I could never remember how to pronounce her name. And, our names are very special to us. And I think it's important that we should try to pronounce someone's name correctly. So every time I would greet her in my group coaching program, I'd be like, Sonia, 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 Sonia. What's your and her mom said it's like ostrich. So then I got that stuck in my head and I kept trying to tell myself it's like ostrich. And then I started calling her Sostrich. So that's stuck, right? I'm happy that you're here. So you're tuning in from Iowa, right?
Right.
Right. Okay. So I got it. Usually I say Idaho. Listen, you don't have to know a whole lot to be a top person in business because I can't get names in places right. All right. But I'm excited that you're here today. And, I was just trying to remember how we met. Like, I'm not even sure we met online. We've seen each other in person. You've been to my house in America, but how did you find me online? Do you know?
If I remember correctly, there was some little thing popped up on Facebook, and you were doing some kind of a live or a where you did an interview with somebody, and I loved your energy, and so I messaged you. I think you had on there the 15-minute free call,
Yeah.
whatever, and yeah, I started with that, and it's just kind of evolved.
Oh, well, I'm super proud of you. I want to introduce. Sorry, let me turn my. Oh my goodness, my phone's going bananas. Let me turn this off. Okay. I want to introduce you so everyone knows, a little bit about you. And if they don't know me, I'll tell them about me. So, I have 30 years of business and sales experience. Direct sales, cars. I had a Jamaican restaurant when I was 19, 20. Had a salon in Harrisburg, Pennsylvania. I have a lot of, sales and business experience, and I'm passionate about helping entrepreneurs to sell more through blessing others, serving in a non-pushy manner. And Sonia Sostridge, she is a bra fit specialist. Let me tell you, she sells the most amazing bras. They're the only ones that I wear. I used to only shop at Victoria's Secrets. I haven't been in there in a long time. She is amazing. Okay, she's amazing. Not only that, look at her beautiful skin. She is a beauty expert, a skincare expert. She's got a lot of knowledge, and she's passionate about helping women to look their best, to feel their best, to have confidence. She's an amazing leader. Her team members love working with her because she's passionate, kind, and she wants everyone to succeed. So that's what I love about her. She's amazing. She's amazing. So I want to ask you some questions, my friend. Okay, so we're going to give some tips on direct sales. So I've been in direct sales 21 years. I was at the top of a company, or Dakar Diamonds and stuff like that. And I know that you're in the top, in your companies. So, what would you say when people think of direct sales, and what do you think that they think, like a negative thing that comes into their head, that they have a misconception about direct sales, that you want to bust that myth today? What would it be?
That you have to have a lot of friends,
Yeah. Yeah.
and that you need to sell to friends and family.
Yes. Why is that not true?
Because when I started out in my company, I wasn't on Facebook. I got on Facebook after I started with my company. So I had basically no friends. Right now I'm at somewhere between 4 and 5,000 friends.
Yes, yes. It's and the other misconception I would think is that people think that their friends on Facebook, anyone that's associated as their friend, mean that they know these people personally. I can say I don't know most of the people who are my friends, my followers. I don't know a lot of these people, right? And
Exactly.
and she's so right. Like, that's a big misconception. People think that they have to sell to friends and family, and most people don't want to bother people. But also, your friends and family might not be your ideal client. So just get that myth out of your head, right? Mm-hmm.
Exactly.
You're,
Another
go ahead.
another thing that I think people think is they need to be techie as
Right.
well to to be able to sell online or on Facebook or even sometimes in person. And
Mm-hmm.
you don't have to be techie. If you take a program like Erica's, she walks you through everything. You don't have to worry about, oh, I don't know how to do this, because it's right there step by step.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Oh, that's sweet of you. Yes, it's true. You don't have to be a tech genius. You don't even have to know anything, really. I'll walk you through that step. But also, like, you can have a successful business and never go live on social media. We were just talking about that before we went live. I kind of threw her into this. I texted her today and I'm like, hey, you want to go live with me tonight? Or I said it was yesterday, because I know that she's got a great mission. And I believe that more people need to meet Sonia. And then before we got on, she's like, I'm nervous. I'm like, why are you nervous? Don't you go live all the time? She's like, no. And I was like, oops, sorry. Didn't mean to throw you into it. But it's you're very successful in your business and you've won so many trips, right? Like, tell us a little bit about the success that you've had. I know that I don't want, I know you'll be like, Erica, I don't want to talk about that. That might sound like bragging. It's not bragging. We're just letting the people know what you've accomplished. So do you want to share some of your accolades? Because I should have asked beforehand, but there's probably a whole lot.
Well, I'm um let's say next week, or I think it's toward the end of next week, I'll have my 6-year anniversary with the bra company. When I started with the company, I was extremely shy. You wouldn't have ever got me live. You wouldn't have ever got me on camera. That
Oh.
just wasn't, no way.
Mhm.
I didn't know a lot of people. I felt very backwardsy. But it took me about a year to get started, and things started evolving. I first started traveling with my business, going to different areas of the US and fitting groups of ladies. The first trip I took, I went to Mississippi, Kentucky, well, two places in Mississippi and Kentucky, and I fit something like 55 ladies that week.
Wow.
And that really got me inspired. I had been doing virtual to a certain degree, but a lot of the ladies were like, well, I'm not comfortable trying to do this virtually because what if it doesn't fit? So I asked the one lady on there, I said, well, if I was to come to you, would you be able to get ladies in your area to come be fit? They wouldn't have to say, yes, I'm going to buy, but just come and put the bra on.
Yeah.
And that got me kind of my love of traveling. And it was the following, that was in 19, and in 2020 I was able to take my first trip. I earned my first trip. At that point I earned it just for one person. I got my flight paid for mostly, and the resort paid for, and I went to Mexico.
Nice.
And I was terrified because I have never traveled to a third world country. I was
Oh,
freaked out. I was like, there's no way I can do this. But my upline is from close to me here, and so we traveled together. And so I absolutely fell in love with it. And when I left there, I said, I will be earning every trip that I can possibly earn with this company. I have I went to Cabo first. In 21, I earned it for the resort for two people, airfare for one. We were going to go to St. Lucia, but with the pandemic, it shut it down. So
yeah.
we weren't able to go. So the next year we went to Punta Cana, Dominican Republic. I earned
Nice.
it for two people. My husband did not have a passport at the time, so I had invited a friend to go with me, and she backed out kind of toward the last minute there and wasn't able to go. So I had a room to myself. I would prefer to travel with others just because you're kind of together then.
Yeah.
And I was there. I earned the full, it was 6 days, 5 nights, or something like that.
Wow.
Well, then they had told us that as leaders, they were going to do an Ireland trip. And as leaders, the leaders could earn that when the other ones anybody could earn.
Right, right.
But I was one of seven. I earned most of it. I had to pay a little bit on that one, but it was all expense paid. I had to drive to Chicago, but then my flight was paid from Chicago to Ireland. We were there 4 nights.
I remember
And
seeing those pictures.
yeah, that was that. I never dreamed I'd want to go to Ireland, but that was definitely a bucket list
Yeah.
item. Last year, I earned Cancun for two. So my husband went with me, and that was his first time out of the country. So
Oh,
it was pretty neat. And now
yeah.
I earned the Costa Rica trip this year, but due to some changes in the company, we're not going to take it right now. We're going to hold off. I
Nice.
also was one of five that earned a trip to Europe.
Wow.
And that one as well is kind of on hold for right now. We're not sure on a date. But
This
then
is
I've also
amazing. Aren't you proud of yourself?
oh, definitely.
I just want to say something. Did y'all hear? She said she didn't have a lot of friends on Facebook. She was shy. She had to step out of her comfort zone. She's so glad she did. And look what she accomplished. Please, please give her a shout out in the chat because that is inspirational. Truly inspirational. Sorry, go ahead.
Well, it's interesting because the girls in the bra company that knew me when I first came into the company said I have my personality has done a 180. I mean, it's completely different than it was before. I'm not near as shy. I venture into a lot more things. The last 3 years, I've been in the top four of the company in sales.
Nice.
So that's another thing that I'm very grateful for the chance I've had, and I am proud of that achievement because I never dreamed I'd ever get to that point.
Yeah, you're amazing. You're amazing. Can you share with us what are your tips? Like, how do you sell so much?
Well, I had done a lot of traveling. Like I said, I've been from coast to coast. I've been into Canada and done bra fittings up there. Um, but I think my biggest thing came when I started working with Erica. That was in, let's see, that was June or July of 2022 is when we started working together. And it was in 23, the end of 22 and 23 that my sales actually climbed. I had been in the top 10 in 21. And then in 22 and 23, I was in the top four. So, but it was her way of teaching me, and I have not been able to put everything into play that she's taught, but I'm working on it and I'm learning. One thing I'm working on right now is my automation. I'm trying to get everything automated, but just the way that she's taught me, I'm serving others. It's not about me. If I get a no, it's not at me. And that's really big for me to say that because in the past when I've got a no, it has felt very personal
Yeah,
because of my some of the abuse and the rejection I've had in my past. The no always felt personal.
yeah,
And I'm learning that it's not that way because I'm trying to serve somebody with
right.
either the bras or the beauty or the wellness. It's
Mhm.
not about me anymore. It's about my client and how I can help.
Wonderful. I'm so proud of you. I'm surprised. That's a big thing, to be honest. And that's why I share the blessing method so people realize that it's totally about service and it's not a rejection. I felt less than my whole life. So I totally understood, right? It's about just being a blessing to others. And if they're not interested, that's okay. Don't you want to know ahead of time?
Exactly.
Oh, I'm so proud of you. And, I know that you're using your surveys and we've combined multiple businesses together on the surveys.
Right.
How has the survey helped you to maybe take the pressure off from feeling so that you don't feel like you're being pushy or things like that? How has the survey helped you? I know you do a lot of vendor events. Like, I don't want to speak for you, so you tell me. And we didn't even talk ahead of time. I literally was just like last night, can you do live with me?
Well, what the survey does is it tells you exactly what sort of problem your client has. And so then you can pull, before you do either a video call or a video, um, or a phone call, or a voice clip, you can pull ahead of time the things that are going to fix their problem, and then you can just share. So you said that you didn't like that you needed back smoothing. This particular bra will help with back smoothing. You talked about your hair growth and your brittle nails. This product will help with that. And then you just walk them through each thing that's going to help them, and so you're not wasting your time over somebody that really doesn't want to talk to you.
Right. Exactly. Exactly. And it really does weed out those who are not interested. So you're only speaking to people who are ready and eager to buy. So the sales become typically it's 2 to 3 times as much as people would have sold. And for you, you were so focused on your bras. And I'm like, wait a minute here. Don't you sell shapewear? Don't you sell panties? Don't you sell camis? I'm like, we need to put this in your survey because you don't want to just be the bra lady when you can help someone so they don't go buy Spanx or whatever. Nothing against Spanx. I'm just saying, if you can serve them, why not serve them with everything that they can, that they're looking for versus just thinking you're just the bra lady, right?
Right.
Yeah. So
Exactly.
now you're selling more. So I'm proud of you for that. And you have a pretty big team too. And, what do you love about being a leader and having team members? What's your favorite thing about that?
Well, most of the time, my team members have become kind of a second family, and we can bounce things off. Some of them I've been able to travel with, and so a lot of my team members I didn't know prior to them joining my team. So being able to do some traveling and meet them or travel with them has been a huge plus. Um, and I don't know, just the camaraderie of somebody that understands kind of the same thing I do. You know how it is when you have somebody that understands that, I don't know, life is, well, for instance, a lot of us got a little bit of reproof or whatever for being bra ladies.
Oh.
People were like, well, that's not really how you should do things or whatever. And
So this is from the community that you're associated with, or?
right, yeah.
Mhm.
And when we had a girl that came in here a number of years ago, and she wasn't doing much. And I approached her one day and I said, hey, can we just have a little chat? What's going on here? What's holding you back? And she said, well, people are telling me from our community that I shouldn't be selling bras. That's not proper. And she said, I just feel like it's not how. She said, I don't know what to do with it. And I said, well, you're not the only one. I think almost every one of us, when we started, and especially I was the first one in my community, my church community, to do this, and it was a pretty big deal. And she goes, oh, she said, if I would have known that in the beginning, she said, I could have, maybe combated some of the way it made me feel. So now if
Right.
anybody joins, I try to let them know that up front, that they
That's
may get some remarks and whatever, and it's okay.
Oh, see, what a great leader she is. She saw that other people were going through something, and now she changed her onboarding process to make sure that she addresses that in the beginning so people don't waste time, because every day that goes by that they're not serving, they're missing out on helping a woman to get a proper fitting bra. And as women, don't we all know we don't want digging in our shoulders, and we don't want all this stuff. To have an amazing bra, that's like a game changer. Can I get an amen to that, everybody? I think it's a game changer. I wear the Abby in case anyone wants to know. Sonia can hook you up. Okay. So, so I'm very proud of you. I think she's an amazing leader. To me, you're like just like a fabulous, like a sister, like a best friend, and someone who truly wants the best. So that's how I view you as a leader, is that you want everyone on your team to become the best version of themselves, and for them to achieve whatever it is their goals are, not your goals on them for them, but their personal goals. And that's how I view you. Would you say that was accurate?
Yes.
Yeah.
I have never been one, and I think most of my team probably could attest to this. I've never been one to push them that they need to get certain amount, they had to have certain amount. I would tell them, set a goal for yourself and maybe push yourself a little bit. Don't just be where it's easy. In order to grow, you need to push yourself a little bit. So
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I'm glad it seemed like they did that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And I think that you're amazing. Everything, like we've met in person. She's come to my home. We've met like an hour from here, and we spent time together. You do one-on-one coaching with me, and I know that you have the biggest heart, and you're an amazing businesswoman, and I've never heard you say, I need to get this amount from each person. I need to get this. I never, ever have I heard you say, I need to get, and made it about yourself. I've heard you say, I need to reconnect with others. I need to rekindle, or whatever the words that you use. But you know what I'm saying? You needed to get back in touch with people, or I need to follow up with birthdays. I've heard you speak that kind of language, and that makes my heart sing, because that's truly someone with a servant heart. You really want to bless people, and what would you say to someone who's afraid to start a business? What would you say to someone who's like, I can't start a business. I'm like a 9 to 5 person because being an entrepreneur is too risky. What would you say to them?
Well, number one, all good things come with risk. You
Oh,
can't.
that's a T-shirt. I gotta write that down.
There's nothing that you can do that's going to be worthwhile in life that isn't going to have a little bit of risk, right?
True.
I mean, even any kind of a relationship, mother, daughter, husband, wife, you know, there's always a risk because you got to open yourself up to be vulnerable.
Yes.
And so you kind of, your heart is out there. So, don't let that hold you back. And it's may not be easy to be an entrepreneur because we all have different um, aspects of our life. But if you're, I don't know, to me it's a lot more rewarding than a 9 to 5 job.
What makes it rewarding?
Well, for one thing, I meet in what I'm doing, I have met a lot more people in my bra business and my beauty business than I did in my 9 to 5 job.
Mm-hmm.
There's only a certain amount of people that can come through a door into an eyeglass place or a doctor's office or whatever, and those relationships are built on it's you're just seeing them for a little bit. Whereas with what I do, you build a connection with somebody usually,
Yeah.
and you learn to know a little bit, not always, but to a certain extent, learn to know their likes and their dislikes, what they're looking for. And I've had quite a few people that actually um, opened up more and shared um, personal things from their lives, like maybe somebody was abused, And they would. I had a lady one time that she told me, she said, I don't know if I can handle you touching me because my boyfriend beat me. And I
Oh,
said, okay, I'll do whatever. But something, I don't know what it was about the interaction that we were having, but it just seemed like she trusted me. And
right.
I get that a lot. I don't know if it's my personality or if it was the business I'm in or a combination. um, I I had a lot of people confide in me,
Yeah.
and it honors me that people actually feel comfortable enough to share some of these things that have happened to them. I usually don't have words to say
Yeah.
to, but just the fact that they were comfortable sharing with me, and
Yeah.
then I can help them a little bit, and in one way or another.
Right. So your bra business is actually a vehicle that's really truly changing people's lives because you might have said something back to them to help them to heal or gave them advice or maybe a resource. So, I want all of you to think about whether you're selling mascara, vitamins, bras, travel, whatever it is that you just don't know this is how I believe you can have your own beliefs, but God brings people into our lives for a reason. And maybe you were the person who was chosen to say something, who could help them. So I believe that our businesses are here to serve others, and you just never know. Your next best friend could be there, the next person you help, you just don't know. That's why we always have to not be judgmental and just serve, because there's people praying for your products or service out there and we just don't know, right?
Right, exactly.
And you have such a big heart. You've such a big heart. I've been honored for you to be in my life, and you've brought some of your team members are in our group coaching program. You've introduced me to so many people, and you know what I'm very excited for? Do you know?
Yes, Jamaica, Jamaica.
I thought you were going to say Erica must have some chocolate on her desk, but I don't. I've given up chocolate. It's killing me. But yes, you're going to come to Jamaica and we're going to be together. Can I just ask, like, what made you decide to sign up for the retreat?
Well, I know the content that I've learned from you, and I know the content of you and your daily 365, your
Oh,
daily
my
boost
podcast, your daily
365.
boost.
Uh, so I know the content, and so I was really excited when I heard you were going to do this retreat, and I know there's going to be a lot of good content there, and then just the fact of some relaxation and the beach and the water and the warmth and
Yes, yes, yes. I'm so
and
glad.
then
What would
and
you?
then another plus
God.
is spending some time with you and then the other people that are coming. Some of them we've worked together on in the Blessing Method group coaching,
Yeah.
and so you kind of get to know them a little bit. But to actually be able to meet them in person, I'm really excited about that.
Me too. I am. I know. I can't wait to hug all of you. So just you, Denise. I'm not sure if Denise is coming to Jamaica, but Denise is in our group coaching. But the other people I haven't been able to hug in real life. So I'm excited for that. And what would you say to them? I'm going to put this on the screen in case anyone's like, what is she talking about, Jamaica? Also, there's a link below. Click on that link, and that will take you to find out more. But what would you say to someone who is now mention Sonia's name if you text? We're not going to spam you. We're just going to give you a link so you can look at the speakers and stuff like that. Mention Sonia's name because then you both get extra goodies. But what would you say to like a team member or someone who's watching, who's on the fence, and they're like, I don't know if I want to go to Jamaica and hear 6 different speakers talk about mindset and sales and get my pictures taken for my branding and learn my proper colors and learn how to do automation and rejuvenate myself. What would you say to them if they're like, I don't know, I don't want to spend the money to do that? What would you say to them?
Well, probably a couple of things. Like I said before, a lot of people feel like the risk is too great, but if you don't risk it, you're gonna lose out. I believe from what I've seen already, the bonuses and the benefits that we're going to get from the retreat are going to far outweigh the cost.
Yes.
And going somewhere like that, I mean, I've seen other retreats similar that stay stateside that are 2 to 3 times more than what Erica's retreat is. So I was holding my breath when I found out she was going to do this as to what the cost was going to be because yeah.
Yes.
And yeah, I don't know. I just feel like there's going to be so much benefit that we'll be able to come home with, plus the fact that you're going to be able to relax and just be ready to go, ready to hit the ground running when you come back.
Yeah, exactly. And I chose the all-inclusive resort, which I already went to stay at to make sure everything's perfect, so that if people wanted to bring a spouse and have a, second honeymoon, or bring the child, or bring a best friend, or we can, set you up if you need a roommate, right? So I wanted it to be a place that you could come and unwind, and it's going to be casual. I'm telling people, wear what you want to be comfortable in. For the only one day do I have a requirement. That's for our cocktail party, navy and gold, but the rest. And, I just want everyone to feel like they can just be themselves, right? And just be ready and open to learn. And, we've done some videos this week. Rob is going to talk about like healthy from the inside out, and mindset. Tex Roy's talking about mindset. And he actually helped me overcome so many fears with one sentence. So I know that anyone who's got fears, he's going to help you to overcome. Gabrielle is going to teach you, if you don't know how to apply makeup to make yourself look natural, just enhance your natural beauty, she'll teach you. She's going to teach you what colors you should be wearing and picking for your brand. Because some people pick colors because they like it, and it might not look good on them, right? The best photographer in Jamaica is going to come and take your picture, so you'll leave with them. We've got Daniel talking about automation. We've got Michelle talking about relationships and building relationships. And I'm going to teach you how to sell, how to present effectively. So, and there's going to be more speakers to come. So I can't wait to see you there, Sonia. And use her link, guys, because I told her if she blesses others that I would have a driver come and pick her up at her house and take her to the airport and then pick her back up from the airport. And she wants that, don't you?
Yep.
She wants that. So use her link, okay? And, if anyone's looking for, bras or beauty or whatever, comment below and she can send you her survey, or look up her name and click on her survey. She'll be happy to help you. Thank you for doing this with me, my friend. I'm proud of you.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Yes. Is there anything you want to say before we go?
Just jump in with both feet and go for it. It's worth it. And whatever in life, whether it's starting a business or working with somebody, coaching, or your relationship, just do it.
Just do it. Just be like Nike and just do it. I like that. All right. Goodbye.
Okay, bye.